All right. Hey, we're live. Hopefully it's not going to take too long. I do have to work in the morning, and I think we're just going to touch on the high points of what's been going on with this particular controversy. But first, I want to thank Vada for making a thumb for me because I was completely lazy. And I'm like, oh, dude, I don't have time for this. Can somebody please do it for me? And Vada stepped up. So thank you, Vada, for making the thumb for me.
You're welcome. I was hoping that you were okay with it.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Yes, fine. And also got Aaron, EK People Suck. Hi, Aaron. Hi. So usually Erin's been streaming this time, but I'm going to take her spot tonight because, like I said, it's the only time I have to stream. And this particular topic has been all over the news. It's been in my Facebook. It's been everywhere. And here's the precursor for this. Everybody's going to be talking about this are adults. Act like an adult. I don't get why people have been saying such astronomically stupid shit on my Facebook. I just cursed. It goes my demonetization. I don't care. I don't care what. I mean, I don't understand why people are throwing these hyperbolic terms out there when this is something that the trans community has been up in arms about and has every right to be up in arms about. I have been inundated with messages with people from the LGBTQ plus community and the trans community supporting the fact that people are speaking out, having this particular representation of their community, being somebody who's known for mocking of women, somebody who's been known historically for being just a gay actor that has been doing caricatures of women. So I'm going to talk about that. She'll give some examples. I don't think Vada's been following this particular story, so it's kind of a fresh view. But I think, Aaron, have you followed it all?
I myself haven't followed it much, but there's been a lot of people like at my job and stuff who've been following it and have had quite a few things to say about it. So I've been reprived of the situation.
I was hoping you could give me I did a few notes, I wrote down a few notes, and I was like, Steve will give me a briefing once I get on there.
Yeah, so the briefing is real simple. Dylan Mulvaney has been known as a TikToker. He has about 10 million subscribers on TikTok. He has been well established since like 2015 as a gay comedian actor. And so during some point in time, he decided to do this 1 year long transition and document his days of being, quote, a girl. And in these documentations, these were parodies. They were satire. They were supposed to be taken comedically. And some of them may be taken funny. I don't particularly find them that funny, but I can get where he's going with it. It is satire. But for some strange reason, somewhere along the line, people that weren't paying attention thought he was actually becoming trans. I don't believe that he was actually becoming trans. I believe this was all one big, long troll. And so these big corporations, for some reason, decided to use him as a spokesperson rather than actually getting well-established models to and people like, for example, like you know who Nicole Maines is?
Yes.
Yeah, Nicole Amber Maines. She's an American actress. She's transgender. She's on Supergirl. Is that what it was? I think that's the show. Supergirl, right?
But hold on, I'll make sure.
I have a quick question though. So this year-long transition or whatever that he was documenting, like how far or like exactly how was he transitioning? Like she whatever. I'm sorry. Was she?
I'm going to call him he because I'm not going to play into the fact that he's conning the trans community. This is my belief. This is my personal belief, and I'm welcome to it. But you can use any pronoun you want. I don't care.
Okay. Was okay. Just to play it safe. Was she taking like hormone blockers or whatever?
He says he was on HRT. The problem is that over the year long HRT that he was taking, people have noticed there was no change. There's literally been no change from today as there was a year ago, which again leads into the idea that this is one big long con. Because if you're taking hormone, we've all seen people that take hormone replacement therapy. If you haven't really seen it lately, but there's a story with Mr. Beast, with Chris from Mr. Beast. He started taking hormone replacement therapy, and within a shorter amount of time, there was a huge amount of difference. You notice, right?
Right.
So people really think that Dylan's just lying about this. Now, again, I'm not his doctor. I have no idea. But when you add up all the things that he was a gay actor, that he wanted attention, that he does satire, that he plays the part of a character of a 6-year-old girl. That's his character, a 6-year-old girl named Eloise. That
right there. Okay, I'm sorry. That right there is weird because like anyone who I personally have known, or even just like you see like as a public figure who is a trans woman, not one of them wants to be a trans female child. They want to be a trans woman.
Correct.
So that's kind of
Well,
weird.
what she did is she did a video diary series, Days of Girlhood, where she's documenting her male to female transition. That's what she's doing.
Right. Matter of
So
fact,
she does want to see.
we can show you day one if you wish. We'd like
Okay.
to see day one. All right. So let's do day one. Now again, keep in mind, if this was just satire, if this was just parody, dissing on women with the stereotypes of women, I'm okay with that as far as satire, right? Because we all realize that, yes, there are certain stereotypes. Okay, men have stereotypes, women have stereotypes. That's humor. Humor's subjective. I don't care. Some of it is funny. I don't particularly find him funny as a comedian, but that's just personal taste, okay? But if this was just a comedy shtick, okay, who cares? But Vada, let me ask you, if you haven't seen this yet, watch it, and if you tell me you're going to hear it, do you think that this is something to be taken seriously for somebody who really wants to become trans? Because as Aaron pointed out, I have never seen a trans person want to be portrayed as a 6-year-old child. Not one. Not one. Now, this is not him being a 6-year-old child. That's Eloise. Well, I think I have that somewhere. But this is just day one on the journey. Okay, so let's play this, and you tell me what you think. Okay?
Okay.
Why is this not playing? Do I have to reload this? Let me reload it.
When you press share screen, did you click the?
Yeah, it's not playing.
Mark?
I don't know. I have some problems with TikTok sometimes. I had this problem before, and I don't know how to fix it. I logged in. It's just working just like the other day.
The same thing happened to me, and there's a button right whenever you press share screen for the audio that you have to click now. I don't.
Yeah, that's for the audio, but this isn't even playing
Yeah.
in TikTok. It was just working. Oh wait. No. You know what? Let me just find it on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, when Aaron, have you seen this before? Why I'm looking at this?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
They might let me do it. Let me see.
Yeah, if you can, that's fine too.
Well, can you send me the link to that, and I'll try to present it?
Yep, I most certainly can. There you go.
Okay. Let's see what we got.
Okay, I found it on YouTube, so maybe that's good enough right now. Can you see that? Oh,
Yep,
no.
I've got it. Let's see what happens. I'm just going
All
to try.
right. Yeah, go try to play it. Yeah. And then we'll talk about the corporations of things of that nature, like the Bud Light, and why I think they particularly wanted to use, Dylan over somebody else. What's happening with the market shares, because there's some confusion there. People think that Bud Light's, because they're just looking at the stock price, has lost value.
And I have already cried.
Good, I can hear it.
Three
Yeah, I can hear it.
times.
Sorry, I
I
didn't
received
see that.
an email that
Let me
go
know
ahead.
when you're ready. I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
I didn't mean for it to play.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that people are looking at the market value. That's when people say that Bud Light has lost money, they're looking at the market value share, which is an index where they say this is what we think the valuation is. You can't really get that off just looking at the stock price. And so people are like, oh, well, the stock's doing this and that. Well, that's not really a fair indicator of what they mean by having a $3 to $6 million valuation loss of the amount of the shares that are out as opposed to the share values. So that's why the Anheuser-Busch core CEO just recently made a statement on all this. But we'll get to that. So, anyways, yeah, play this and tell me what you think.
Okay.
that I did not send. I ordered dresses online that I couldn't afford. And then when someone asked me how I was, I said, I'm fine, when I wasn't fine. So. How'd I do, ladies? Good? Girl power?
Okay. So, again, it's clearly parody. We all get that. But if you're transitioning and you're a part of the trans community that where you want to be taken seriously, why would you do this as a satire thing? I don't understand that at all, because he's known as a comedian. He's been for years mocking women, not just like this as a satire, but he's literally been mocking women in other videos with over-the-top histrionic performances and making them like a caricature. And so
Yeah.
what is it about this that people go, oh yeah, this person is really suffering from gender dysphoria? Really, they are transitioning, because I don't get it. Explain it to me, anybody.
Just hearing him talk and like the expressions on his face and everything as he's saying it, like all I sense is animosity. Like he's angry with women.
Well, that's what people say. He's a misogynist. He's known for bashing on women, and again, under the guise of humor, and some people might find it funny. I'm all for stereotypical humor if it's done, tastefully, because we have to acknowledge there are certain things that certain cultures have stereotypically. If you go look and listen to like Fluffy, right, Gabriel Iglesias, he has some racist ass stuff, but it's funnier than hell because it's not meant to be racist in a harmful manner, right? He's genius. Blacks like him, whites like him, Mexicans like him. Everybody likes him because he's funny, right? But this to me is not funny because, as you said, it's creepy to me a little bit.
Yes, you said the word out of my mouth. It is kind of creepy. Their biggest problem is it seems like they're telling them not to be woke. Like they're telling them, why can't you just put someone pretty much normal? And they were calling her a fake woman, and which she has. Her stardom actually rose because she was included in brands like Kate Spade and Ulta. And so she really got popular. I'm calling her she because I think that's what she goes by. But I just don't understand why they sponsored her, I guess, to support the LGBT community. But people really got against this and started dumping out cases of beer, upset about it.
Which I don't care about. I guess that's performative.
Yeah,
that's performative.
I think that it wouldn't have mattered like who the transgendered person was that they chose. I think that a lot of the people who reacted that way would have reacted that way just because it was a transgendered person, I don't think it was this particular transgender person that necessarily incited all that or inspired all that.
Well, that's their demographic, right? I mean, let's talk about that for a second. Thank you, Flying Mom.
It is. You got a point though that it's like Bud Light almost like said, "Hey, this is our target demographic. This is the people who buy the most amount of our shit. How can we really just alienate them and piss them off the best?"
And that's exactly what they did. And that's the point.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it's kind of funny because if you watch the video from Elisa Heinerschneid, I think that's how you pronounce her name. She is either millennial or Gen X. She's not that old. I think 26, something like that. She was brought in to basically have a mandate. We need to bring in younger Bud Light drinkers. We need to appeal to a younger audience. Okay, which again, I get that, but at the same token, by doing that, you do not throw your older audience and demographics out the window. It will never ever work. Okay, and while there's some people are saying, well, yeah, there's many beer drinkers in the southern parts that are transphobic, and even if that's the case, right, it's not going to be the biggest amount of beer drinkers, right? The biggest amount of beer drinkers don't really care. If it was some other trans person like Blair White, they probably wouldn't care because they're conservatives, and she tends to be a conservative. This has not much to do with transphobia as much as being woke and either being on the conservative side or the liberal side, because they picked a leftist on this rather than somebody who Blair White, which is clearly she's very attractive.
Yeah.
And she's established.
Blair White's trans?
Yes.
She used to be a man.
I never knew that.
What?
Really?
Blair White is like one of the most famous transgender persons on the planet.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, she's not someone I really watch or anything. But I know who she is. That's about
but
it.
See,
I never knew that. Oh, wow. Okay.
Blair's a little bit different than most transgenders that you see on the left. Blair recognizes she was born biologically male, and then she transitioned, and now she identifies gender-wise as a female. But she recognizes that biological sex is dichotomous, and you're either born the male or the female of the species. She has no issue with that. But that's against some of the more liberal approaches with dealing with gender theory. So she's not popular in that group.
See, the whole thing here, now thinking about it though now and listening to everything you said there, I almost wonder if maybe they were trying to bring in like younger drinkers and everything, but also trying to hold on to as many as they're, like the older.
Okay, that's fine.
So they pick a trans person who kind of mocks it a little bit, makes fun of it. Maybe it'll appeal a little bit more to the ones who despise this kind of lifestyle or something. I don't know.
All right, let's go with that. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Okay, but let's look at demographics for a second. Then I sent you another one to play, Vada. You got that one?
Okay.
All right, but let's look at demographics for a second. The Bud Light, I drink Bud Light. I drink it out of bottle or tap. I don't like the can. Okay, but I mean, I look, I go to the bar. I want something taste great, less filling. Okay. But I prefer Scotch. But the hardcore Bud Light drinkers, like I said, do you know that the biggest connoisseurs of gay and trans porn are in the South? Right? most of them probably ain't going to care. But when you look at the original Bud Light girls from the 70s, the 80s, and 90s, they were attractive. They were basically either a heterosexual or even heterosexual that likes, trans women. That would be appealing to them, right? Because it's feminine. This is not going to appeal to that crowd that like looking at Bud Light girls. It's just not going to happen. Same thing. I said, well, if Hooters brought Dylan in to be a spokesperson for them, are they reaching their demographic audience? Of course not. Same thing with Nike Sports Bra. Nike Sports Bra has Dylan as their spokesperson. Why? Why would you not pick a transgender person with gender affirming top surgery or that has like breast or something like that, but at least understand what a female goes through when they work out, that we require something like a sports bra. Dylan has no idea. It just seems so out of place to me. So what am I missing?
Someone told me that the Tampax was
not yeah, well, he's already has there's an organic tampon tampon company that I don't know the name. He's a spokesperson for, which takes us to the next clip because he's talking about tampons.
I think that's what the outrage is. I don't think it's against his gender specifically. I think it's, it's the left wing just like, what the hell? They're just pretty much in shock because they're used to a certain promotion, and now they're like thrown off by this. And even Caitlyn Jenner, which y'all know, was married to the Kardashian lady. What was her name?
Chris
Kardashian.
He said that this was Chris
Kardashian.
Outrage.
Yeah.
Well, it's. I mean, I personally, I don't care. I don't care whose face they put on a camera.
I don't either. I don't either.
But I just and I don't personally care. Like, I'm not upset about this or anything.
No,
I don't understand the logic behind having her be a spokesperson for menstruation products. Like, that confuses me. Like, what?
Yes.
I don't either because it doesn't seem to reach the proper demographics. So some people have said, well, Bud Light has had, the frogs, or Budweiser did. It's okay. We know frogs don't drink beer. Okay,
what's up?
but that was one of the greatest. That was seriously one of the most marketable PR things ever. That was so marketable. This is not marketable, and to say that is not being transphobic or any way, shape, or form, because here we all are saying there was better trans people to be their spokesperson, 100% better. But again, know your demographic. Do you think Dylan would be a spokesperson for Hooters? No. And by the way, Hooters can hire large-breasted women as part of their model. That's nothing even against the law with that, believe it or not. It's part of the actual law that if your model happens to represent a very specific thing where a off-brand would cause detriment to that brand, you don't have to hire them. So if somebody came in, they're very flat-chested, or a male that has no breast, they don't have to hire them for that because it's off-brand.
Or fat.
Yes.
I hate to say it, but I mean, yeah.
No, right. I mean, if you're doing a fit modeling, right? And you're fit and you're trying to promote like Bowflex or something like that. Well, you're not going to get somebody who's very morbidly obese to represent that brand, right?
Yeah, it reminds me of how Victoria's Secret started having, like, they were protesting because Victoria's Secret uses the 6 foot tall, really skinny, beautiful models instead of someone that might be a little bit heavier, and they got criticized a lot for that. Maybe they're just trying to. I don't know. I just maybe they picked the wrong choice.
I don't know. Like, I can't imagine though. Like, Bud Light was getting criticized so much, for not having a transgender person. But I get what you're saying though. Yeah. It kind of pisses me off every time I see like something with Victoria's Secret and everyone is like this perfect size, like, because most women I don't think are
right, but that's their brand.
Yeah, right. But like Victoria's Secret, they're actually going to probably increase their sales if they advertise to the heavier female community.
I agree.
Too,
I agree.
Where Budweiser maybe not so much.
No, look when Victoria's Secret started to use more plus size model, I think that was great. They even have trans, but the problem is that you cannot get rid of your core group. You can include other things. But that's not what Bud Light did here.
Right.
They basically shat on their demographics and said, we don't care what you think. And I think that was with the backlash. And again, it has nothing to do with pride because Bud Light has ran pride things before. All the alcohol companies have ran pride. Nobody really cared about that except for the right conservative evangelicals, but nobody gives a shit about anyways, because they're just, those are the transphobes. Fuck them. But for the most part, when they do Pride Week, nobody cares. My work does Pride Week. It's like, okay, it's part of business, right? You have to reach many different demographics, but that doesn't mean you alienate your core one. There's ways of doing this. And the mandate that the VP had, I think she understood it, but I don't think she executed it very well. But you want to play this next video? Because it's,
yes.
I want look, I will let you two take this for the next 10 minutes as women. Just tell me what you fucking think of this, okay? Because I've never menstruated. But tell me if this makes sense to you, and then I will tell from my position as a man why I think what Dylan says is bullshit here. Okay? Sound good? All right, all yours. I'm going to mute for at least 5 minutes.
All righty. Here we go. Day 75 of girlhood. Here we are. Come on. Play.
Are you having the same problem that I had? See, it doesn't play. Oh,
I've been carrying around tampons and pads for the past 2 months, but I've actually never opened one up. So let's do it. Woohoo! I thought the letters stood for small, medium, and large based on the size of your Barbie pouch. But after a Google, I found out it's actually the level of your flow. So they're super, regular, and light. I guess my question is, which one do I carry around? The super? Because maybe if you have a light flow, you can still use a super? I don't know. Here goes nothing. It's pink, it's kind of adorable, and it kind of looks like a butter churn. So you just go like that? Ow. Where does the string go? You are getting sleepy. Now for the real magic, I've got a glass of water in the tampon. I almost put red food coloring in there, but I thought that might be too much. And we're gonna see how this works. Oh, it kind of looks like a butterfly. How long does it take to get to this? This one looks like it would do the job. I feel like I'm in science class. Oh no. Okay, the pad didn't expand, so maybe this is for a light flow? I just don't know. Now that I think about it, I probably should have had a woman come teach me about these things. I was on the boys' side of sex ed, and now I would like to take the girls' class. But if you're on your period right now, I'm sending you love. Bye.
Yeah, this reminds me of like a girl trying to promote condoms, like, and trying to show you how to put one on, and she doesn't have a, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It just seems out of place.
I guess I could see like a straight dude even doing this. The content itself isn't what bothers. I find weird. It's that she starts it off by saying how she's been carrying them around for 2 months, but she never got a chance to open it. Like, my period just never came. It just seems weird to me.
Product, you want to be informative and teach people how to use, and
right.
Anybody would be confused by this if they were like 9 years old first started. They're like, well, I'm as confused as they are.
Right. Yeah. I mean, this was, again, I get a sense of mocking though. Like I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know if she's mad at women for whatever reason, or she's just like kind of mad at women because she isn't one, you know what I mean? So she despises women to a degree. But again, though, just like the first video I saw, we saw, it's just, I sense like animosity, like she's
anger.
I don't know, she's kind of angry at women, like she's
what bothered me is where she's like the small, super medium, like
yeah, you're right. That's the first thing that jumped out of me too. Like, that's an old ass joke. Like, everyone's heard that joke before. Like, oh, you mean the S doesn't mean small or whatever. Everyone knows it means super. It's, I don't know. There's just an old ass joke.
It's kind of like a offhanded insult, like, are you loose? Are you tight? Sort of thing. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
It kind of gives that undertone.
Yeah. The size of your Barbie pouch or whatever she called it. I forget, but
yeah. I don't even know what she was talking about. I think that that's sort of a controversial thing to.
So you agree it's parody? I mean, this is somebody who's like clearly mocking and making parody.
Yes. Correct? See, like, if this was a woman doing that, I would take no offense to it. But it's kind of like unless you are the thing, you can't really make fun of the thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
like promoting a Trojan condom that's small and trying to insinuate if you have a small penis.
do you agree? And thank you, Lady Firebrand, for the 299. She says that video made my brain cells scream out in pain. That does sound painful. I think she's just stupid. No, we look. Everybody who's ever had a brother, sister, or some brother. I mean, a mother, a sister, a girlfriend. We all understand feminine products. Okay, guys do understand it. There's probably not a husband in the world or boyfriend that's never had to go out and buy these items. Okay, we get it.
My oldest son used to think my tampons were torpedoes when he was a kid. So yeah.
But here's the thing: we're talking about somebody who wants to convince people that they're trans now. This is trans people have to suffer through gender dysphoria, and the vast majority of them have to go have some kind of therapeutic help and get help, whether it be through gender affirming surgery, HRT, psychoanalysis, analysis, or therapy. They have to get help because it's got to be very, very disconcerting. Dylan's done none of this. And again, with they say they were on HRT, but again, if you go back a year, there's just no change. But people that are trans, have you met any person that's trans that would do this kind of mockery? None. I've never seen one.
No, I've never met a trans person who regularly or routinely made fun of the thing that they wish that they were or they want to be.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, they want to embody it, not mock it and ridicule it.
Exactly. Yeah. And watch the next video that I sent you, Vada. Dylan kind of goes into more detail why he carries tampons, and here's what he says. I'll give you a precursor. He says, "Oh, I carry tampons and other things for just in case somebody needs them." I can tell you right now, nobody besides a woman that does menstruate does that. I've never carried around tampons, bobby pins, or hairpin clips or anything like that for my female friends. It just guys don't do this. Okay. Maybe they should. I wouldn't have a problem with it, okay? But it doesn't happen, okay? We just don't do that. And so Dylan's trying to make this argument, oh, the reason why I'm carrying them around is for other people. No, I'm sorry, but that's just bullshit. It's performative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like if I needed one, I think she might be the person I wouldn't think to ask, I'm sorry.
Especially if they don't know what S is or,
yeah.
M or whatever. Okay, so I sent you another one, Vada.
All right, I got you.
This one's even worse.
Imagine him handing me a tampon and saying small, medium, or large.
Like what, bitch?
What kind of pouch are we talking about? What kind of pouch? Barbie? Yeah, what kind of Barbie pouch? Yeah, what kind of Barbie pouch are we talking about here? Again, trans people do not do this kind of stuff. To me, this is what I'm saying. I think Dylan's mocking the trans community. I really honestly do. This is not just performative. I look at the news. There's some things that just I find interesting. I find people that lie to go into your community, like grifters, because we've seen them before. Maybe I do take it a little personally because we've all seen this happen. Mm-hmm. Erin's channel, go look at her. She'll go into detail on this. Go look at Vada's channel. She goes into detail on this. We've seen this. And so maybe it is a little bit personal to me, but the fact remains is that I think Dylan is mocking the trans community, and trans people are telling me on my videos and in instant messages, thank you for speaking up. We've been trying to say this for years that, companies don't really give a damn about us. And when they pick someone like Dylan, it proves that they don't give a damn about us. And so when anybody who says, oh, this is transphobic, is absolutely freaking wrong. They just picked the wrong trans person is my argument.
Yes, that's my argument too. I don't even know this person, but just after 2 videos, I'm just like, eh.
Oh, this one's worse. This was 4 minutes, so you want to break it into 2 minutes?
Okay.
All right, just play for 2 minutes, and we'll talk about it.
For the women on Twitter who just really don't like me. Hello, ladies. We got a lot to cover, but let's first talk tampons. I haven't talked about tampons on here lately because I don't use them. I'm a woman who doesn't have a uterus. I know this. And science was my strongest subject in high school. I was also shockingly good at math, but I digress. I just sometimes carry one in case anybody needs it. And that seems to have just set the world on fire in some pretty nasty ways. And this is a conversation that's been going on for months. I just haven't chimed in because I'm so tired of sticking up for myself over something that was so pure intentioned. But now Twitter is just ablaze. And this week, there's some women that are now coming for Tampax, and I wanted to clear the air. So I have some amazing news. Are you ready? I have never worked with Tampax before. The most that happened was they sent me a few boxes of tampons back in April, just in case I bumped into anyone, including yourselves, and I gave them all away. I've got a few left. And this one's really going to blow your mind. I have never made $1 off of feminine hygiene products. So I hope that helps you sleep better at night, knowing that. And no need to bring Tampax into this. But the bigger problem at hand is that you feel me carrying a tampon around is a threat to you and your womanhood. How is someone doing something nice so repulsive to you? Because listen to this. If a man, whether he was your boyfriend or your husband, could even be your gay best friend, kept a tampon for you at his house just in case you needed it, you'd gush over him. You would run to brunch on Sunday and tell all your gal pals that he's so thoughtful and he cares and he listens. And then a trans woman does it, and all of a sudden I'm the reason that there's a tampon shortage.
Okay.
Tampon shortage. This to me, I think this was worse.
Wow.
And I'm gonna. I definitely want to. I would read this first. I want you guys' opinion because you're the females here. But Justice says if she would just have said at the beginning, carrying them for others, it would have been fine. Saying this afterwards seems like making an excuse after the fact. I agree. But my question to you, while you weigh into this, is why would Tampax send Dylan of all people tampons? That's like me sending you homemade prostate exams for you to give out to your friends. I mean, condoms I would get.
Makes sense.
Why?
No, that actually makes sense. Yeah, because everyone's talking about Tampax now. I mean, it was actually a smart business move on their part. I get that.
I'll give you that one.
And like when this video first started, and I was listening to her say, I'm out with my gal pals. Someone needs one. It's okay, fine. I see that because she's transitioning into be a woman. She wants to be a woman. So what better way to feel like one of the girls than to carry a Tampax or whatever, a tampon for one of her girlfriends if and when they should need one. It's kind of bringing into the. I get that, but the second after she said that, then she started ragging on women. The way you hear, then you're out with your little girl cliques or whatever. Like she's pissed off at women, and then she says that but if one of your boyfriends or one of your gay friends did this, they would be the best. It'd be so thoughtful. So it's like hearing her talk here, she is totally talking down with animosity toward females. But then when it comes to men, whether gay, straight, boyfriend, whatever, they're up on a pedestal, again, I feel her animosity. I don't get it. But
I would have to concur with everything you just said. I get it. From a PR point of view, from a marketing point of view, because it gets people talking about it, I understand it. However, also people have to realize that some PR, even if just because it's negative, doesn't mean it's good. People have this weird misconception that any PR is good PR. That's not necessarily true by any stretch of imagination. We've seen companies that have very bad PR that have some really bad campaigns, and they suffered monetarily from it.
Right. But here's what I hear. The only thing I hear is she gave them all out to her friends. So I hear Tampax sent her a bunch of tampons that were given out for free. So women free tampons. That's what I'm hearing. Nothing wrong with that. I don't know.
No, nothing wrong with that. But then she goes on to talk about, in a more demeaning kind of way.
Threat to your womanhood. Like who, what, how, what? Who the fuck was saying that? That's just not out there. I don't know.
Where did that come from? Why would you start demeaning? If you want to be one of the women, why would you demean them?
Right. And I don't think anybody has a problem with her having them. I think my problem would be it's a personal thing. And I feel like I was insulting her by taking the tampon because I'm rubbing it in her face that I have a part that you don't. Do you get what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get that.
Want to do that. And somebody that's transgender might be offended by that. And I don't know. Maybe it's her way of trying to make somebody that is female comfortable with her.
You want to play the last 2 minutes?
Yeah, could be, yeah.
But it is still kind of weird and awkward.
But again, this is a holistic thing, right? It's not just one thing. There's a whole bunch of things with Dylan that just, as a collective, to me, screams fake. Now, again, if I find out 2 years from now that they're fully transitioned and everything was true, I will go on and I'll say, look, I was wrong, but they definitely went about it the wrong way. I don't think there's anything that will ever justify mocking women as Dylan has done. And I think, and I don't find Dylan funny at all. But if they actually do become, fully trans and they stay that way, in perpetuity, let's say, I will say, okay, I was wrong about that. I'm happy to correct myself. But I got to tell you, I'm pretty good in these situations about dishonest agents. Dylan doesn't come across to me as an honest agent.
No.
At all.
Yeah, and she inspires to be a woman, but it seems like she's kind of envious or critical of women. Like she's inspiring to be what she hates. It's weird.
And 2 years from now, maybe she'll still play this character and still be talking down to women. I don't know, but it's like I said, if she fully becomes, or I'm gonna start. I can't use. I don't think she's trans. I cannot believe that. It just everything screams fake. I think she's gonna milk this for all its work and play this character. So it's really hard to determine if she ever does become fully trans or I'm just going to use pronouns interchangeably because it doesn't matter at this point. Go ahead and do
She's a high risk for controversy, it seems like. So if she's representing, Bud Light, and then she does something controversial, it's going to lean back on them and make them look bad. That's what I would worry about. She'd be a liability for me as a company, as an owner of a brand.
They already have the spokesperson. The CEO had an issue, a public statement on this. I'm sorry, but when your CEO has to issue a public statement, that's not good PR. No. It's not.
What I think this is more or less is like Bud Light, I think, was trying to appeal to like a younger, you were saying, acquire like the new coming of age drinkers, where the younger, more woke people, whatever you want to call it. But when it comes to your gender or whatever, like there's like your physical gender, and then there's the social construct of gender, and I think the impression I'm getting isn't that this person wanted to necessarily so much be female physically, but wanted to embody a female in every other manner. You know what I mean? Right. Like it's socially, like
I don't even think that.
Like from the out, I don't know.
If you look at Dylan's earlier videos, he was very happy being an outspoken gay man doing videos making characters of women. That's what he was known for. And like I said, I'm not the only one that think that Dylan's mocking the trans community. So look, people have a right to their opinion. This is not something dealing with any kind of bigotry or transphobia. It's what we think is actually harming the trans community. This is coming from a good place. The people that are thinking and saying Dylan was a bad representative for the trans community, they're doing so, almost all of them, I believe, with good intentions. Right. And anyone who's like saying, well, they shouldn't deal with transgender at all. Nobody's saying that from my side of the fence. Right. The hardcore conservative, evangelicals, I don't care about. I think they're just as wrong as anybody else. And I want nothing to do with them. Ooh.
I think everybody's just so used to traditional style. You know what I mean? Like they're just so used to an old tradition. It's kind of like a Christmas tree. Changed the Christmas lights from green to red to purple and orange for Halloween. Somebody's like, "What the hell's this?" They're just so used. Their brains
exactly.
They're just kind of thrown off.
Yeah, they're the traditionalist Bud Light drinkers. Hi, Raisin Girl. Nice to see you as well. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Are you ready to watch the other part?
I am ready.
Okay.
It's not because I'm misogynistic. It's because you're transphobic. We got to work through this. And babe, caring for others, it's the bare minimum. You might not like me, but I care about you. I care about your feelings. I care about your opinion of me, which I'm really trying to get over. And the last thing I will say, and this will probably make you feel really good, is that I'm jealous of you. I wish I was born in your body. I wish I had a uterus. My sex assigned at birth was a biological male. Does that make you feel better hearing me say that? It's just not what God had in mind. So here I am. There's probably a lot of women that you don't like to group yourself with, but they're still women. And so am I. And now it feels like high school, and it feels like you want me to experience the pain and trauma that you've had to endure as a girl. And the fact that here I am, attempting to enjoy womanhood is incomprehensible to you.
Pay attention to this.
That I carry tampons, that I'm too feminine, or I call myself a girl, or that I'll never birth a child. Well, here's some more good news for you. I'm not enjoying my womanhood as much as I was. And my pain might be different than your pain, but it's very real. So if that was your goal, then congrats. But I'm still a woman, and I'm tired, and we don't have to be BFFs, and you don't have to follow me. Just please don't call the police on me if we bump into each other. My only agenda is to try to find the will to wake up every day and find some ounce of happiness. And believe it or not, somehow I love you. And P.S., I am also very nervous for you, just because hopefully soon transphobia won't be as tolerated online, but your tweets are forever, and I don't want those to come back and haunt you. Okay.
But
This
she's
is not.
mocking femininity. That's not the problem. We're not transphobic. You're mocking femininity. That's what's offensive here. Not anything to do with your
100%.
gender.
This is not
She's
somebody
blaming
who's
women. She's blaming women for any in all shit that she's gone through in
all
her
her
life.
problems. Yeah, all her problems.
Yeah. And then
Listen,
the last bit almost sounded not quite a threat, but I don't know.
would you
No,
agree? Because this is
ominous.
my take.
Ominous. Very ominous.
This is my take, and I really want you to tell me if you agree or disagree. This is not a person who's suffering from gender dysphoria. This is somebody who's suffering, pretending to be suffering from what other women think of her. This is narcissism. This is not gender. This is not gender dysphoria. This is not, I'm a woman. I express myself as a woman, and I'm feeling uncomfortable in the body I'm in. This is, I wish I was born with a uterus, and you making, I'm envious of you, and you not appreciating that, and not, bowing down to whatever I say. That's narcissism. This is exactly what I've been saying. Everything just reeked of insincerity right then and there, because that's not how a single solitary trans person I've ever talked to has ever talked about this stuff. And I'm not saying that, that they're all the same, but this is so atypical and combined with anything else. I have to throw the bullshit flag here. This is not somebody that is, I have to go to therapy and I'm suffering from gender dysphoria. This is what's called privilege versus persecution, intersectionality at its finest. I'm persecuted, and you know who's doing the persecution? Women.
Right. It seems like she's trying to make fun of and punish women for their gender.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very weird. And when she said that, I envy that I don't have a uterus, that was screaming to me in the last two before this came. I was like, yeah, absolutely. You just admitted it. Like, it screams what that thought. Like, you're wishing you had what we have. You're envious of it. And you're mocking us over it.
But see, here's the thing, though. Like, in the way that they ended, the way that she was ending that, like she was going to persevere and be this strong, powerful woman, regardless of what all her haters want to do, all the female haters. But and it's great. But the thing is, though, is that she hasn't lived life long enough as a woman to really appreciate being a woman in such a misogynistic society, in my opinion. Okay, no, she can school all of us on what it's like to be trans, hell yeah, or a gay man, yes, she can school us all of that, all to from now until kingdom come. But bottom line is, she hasn't lived life as a woman long enough to come off as the one who's persevering, to be like this female heroine or whatever. You know what I mean?
And we all have positions we come from, right? I mean,
right.
I can speak as a cisgender heterosexual white male, and the things I've dealt with. Yeah. You can speak as a female, and that's what makes society great. People have their own views based upon their own positions, and people listen to each other, learn from each other that way. Real quick. Raisin Girl has said, have this person ever shown emotion? We're talking about things that claim they're difficult. Some people don't have no baseline. I don't think so, because their entire shtick has been comedy and the characterizations of women. And again, this weird portrayal of some 6-year-old girl. Flame of $5. Why are nurses valid punchy bags? I don't understand, why people aren't seeing the narcissism for what it is. They hyperbolically throw that word around to anybody they disagree with. But when you have somebody trying to blame women for their problems, being persecuted from women that they want to be, that's bizarre to me.
Right. You're crossing boundaries when you're insulting a woman's womanhood that they can't even help. Like, we can't help that you were born that way. We can't help we were born that way. Don't mock us just because we might have something that you wish you had. It's weird. It'd be like me mocking a Victoria's Secret model because she's hot. Like, it reminds me of a hating ass high school girl that's like, ew, look at that bitch.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it is. You're right. And Justin Franks points out that she, this video with this actual actress that did this, Eloise of the Plaza. She did this overdubbing of a TikTok thing, so they do, and she dressed up as a 6-year-old girl and characterized this as, and became this TikTok version of this character. That to me, again, not something that a trans person would want to do. A trans person doesn't want to identify with a 6-year-old child. They want to identify as an adult woman. And this is another reason why I just cannot take Dylan seriously on this.
She's crossing uncomfortable boundaries, creepy ones.
If there was a trans man walking around, but he insisted on walking or dressing up like Oliver from, was it Oliver Twist or whatever, that'd be kind of weird, right? Right? I mean, it's, I don't know, like, what is that?
I don't know. That's not on my end. I said I haven't listened to this one yet. So this one's new. Somebody said do the 66 one. I said I haven't. It's just from YouTube. So can you play that one?
Mhm.
You're the bestest.
You got it. I gotta find out what's wrong with your thing because maybe yours just doesn't show it.
I don't know. It's just my TikTok doesn't play sometimes. I don't even use TikTok. Everything I get from Twitter, but I just had it for this. But other than that, I don't really use TikTok.
When
I've
you're
never been on
clicking
TikTok.
share screen, is there a second box that you click? Is when you press share screen, there's a box that pops up with the title of whatever you're trying to play. Do you click that, then press start?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But the problem is it's not starting in the video itself. I mean, it
Oh,
should be played directly through the video. But
I
I mean,
gotta look here.
I don't know what this is. It's 55 seconds of Dylan being day 6 of a nature girl. I have not seen this yet.
Oh no.
So
I can
I'm a
already
little
tell this is gonna
scared.
be traumatizing.
So we're gonna experience this together. Okay. Congratulations,
ready?
everyone. Yeah.
Oh, she has a YouTube channel?
Oh yeah.
Well, he kept his god name, so I'm wondering. I need to find out because he goes by Dylan, so I need to know if he goes by she or she goes by he.
I think Dylan predicts she and they, if I'm not mistaken. Well, first, they were non-binary for a while, but that wasn't getting any traction. So like,
Maybe
I
she
was
gave it her attention.
I was a gay man, then I went to well, if you actually go and look at his history, he's like, sponsor me. He was looking for sponsors as a gay man, but he actually said he was upset. And this goes back to what Aaron was saying.
Yeah,
Aaron, he was actually saying he was upset that women were getting parts that he was not getting.
Yeah, see, this kind of reminds me, and I hate to say it, but of the she who shall not be named, when she goes on her like poor me, like all these people are attacking me tours or whatever, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like this is I get the impression that this is exactly that Dylan here, she wanted to pretty much martyrdom herself.
Yeah, and speaking of she who should not be named, she claims to be bisexual, but yet she hates all women. This is
By
what
the way, you can't name her on my channel because we can't stand her.
I know, but
That's up to you.
I wasn't sure if you would. I don't know.
Oh, I don't give a shit.
Okay, whatever.
No, I don't. I talk about the bitch all the time because I think she's the most nastiest people on the planet. But that's
Absolutely.
okay. But we're not talking about Dylan, by the way, for people who are okay. So, want to play that next thing? Josh brings up a good question while you're finding that. By the way, I love the Master Puppets thing. If this individual truly believed they were a woman, why wouldn't they count the days of being a woman as if there was a sudden start? Why wouldn't they always believe they were a woman? Just my opinion. And no, I can understand the intent behind the transition period and document. I can understand that. I really do. If it was somebody who was actually doing transitioning.
But here's what I don't get. Like to count it though, like it's almost. I don't know. I get the impression like oh, so here we are, day 20 out in the wilderness with no survival gear or what, you know what I mean? Like you're counting it as though there's an end date. Like we did it. We went 90 days or something.
Okay, what about the other one? I mean, what happened to Elliot Page? How long has Elliot Page been trans now? Laverne Cox, she's been trans for a very, very long time, and she's very well established. They didn't get shit. And Elliot Page is a great actor. I happen to love Elliot Page when he did Umbrella Academy. And of course, it was he went by Ellen at the time, of course, if you want to look it up in the bio, But he is now Elliot Page, which I'm perfectly fine with. I'm whatever.
Wait, the Juno chick?
Juno, yeah, is Elliot Page now, and I love Juno was a good movie. I like that movie, and Elliot Page in the Umbrella Academy was freaking brilliant. That is one of the best freaking series of all time. But Elliot Page didn't get anything. They didn't get a beer thing, and they're far more talented than Dylan. Elliot Page is way more talented than Dylan. That's what I don't get. There's a whole bunch of trans actresses and actors that are way more established that have done activism, and help build up the trans community rather than tear people down and tear women down like Dylan has. Nicole Maines is a trans activist.
Yeah, like James Charles, which I'm just saying. He wears makeup and stuff, but he was the first influencer to join the Met Gala. They do recognize these people. You remember the controversy where male to female wanted to play a sport with the females, and that was a big controversy. Do you remember the Piers Morgan
Oh
episode
yeah.
on that?
Oh yeah, we follow that as well. I just had no plum on not too long ago. We talked about that in a little bit, the transgender stuff a little bit in sports, and that's a whole different ball game.
Oh my God.
get the pen there, holding ball game. But
Yeah.
I don't. I don't know.
Do you believe that someone transitioning from male to female should be able to play with the compete with the females in a sport? Like
there's so many variables in that. It's
Yeah,
not
I don't
it's not an easy answer to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took 2 hours of discussion the other day. If we want to go watch my other video with no plum, we talked about that. There's no one right answer. But
what was it titled? What was your video titled?
Transgenderism. It's just the last video on this channel, whatever the last one before this one was. Okay. I know we're getting yourself in for this video, but yeah, you have to share it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it letting you share? Please stand by.
I still can't believe Juno's a June now.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Yes, Elliot Page, and look, I think that's all cool. Elliot Page seems happy. He's intelligent and he's brilliant. Like I said, if you haven't watched the Umbrella Academy, you're just missing out because that's brilliant in it.
I'll check it out. Definitely.
Vada, can you hear us, Vada? Vada, we can't hear it. You're not showing us.
Did y'all notice in that video where
we didn't. We can't see it. You didn't play it for us. You didn't play it. No. You played it for yourself.
That's crazy. Did it? I shared it.
No, I didn't see it come up to present. I have to present and it didn't come up. It didn't present. I have to include it, but you did. I didn't see anything present.
You're gonna notice something right away that.
There we go. There we go. Now you did.
This bothers me. What he does right here.
Okay, so let's watch this together. I have not seen this yet, so I don't know what I'm in for.
Day 66, being a girl, and today I'm in nature. Trees, I love them. Water, lakes, I love them. Heels, they're my hiking heels. I love them. Okay, come on.
Oh, I have seen this. Never mind. I was wrong. I have seen this before.
Coconut water, love it. Not an ad, just love it. Wind turbine, love it. Meadows, love them. I'm scared of getting Lyme disease. Love ya. Oh. Did you see that? I gotta get out of here. Did you see that? There's a dragon. Oh my God. Never again. Get me out of here. Love ya.
Okay.
Go ahead, Vada. What do you think?
To me, he's kind of mocking. He's playing the stereotype of the ditzy dumb blonde. Like he's making fun of women right here. He's basically
Christians in Arizona and elsewhere are
pretty
being
much how I took that.
Exactly. And then I think that's what I have seen that. I didn't recognize it first, but I have seen that clip. And I thought the exact same thing. I'm like, look, if this is supposed to be the satire and histrionic performances and over the top characterizations and caricatures, I get it. Some people may find that funny and I'm not against that. But this is a person who says they're now trans. This is not, a person who is suffering from some kind of trans, like I said, gender dysphoria. And people say, well, there's different kinds of trans people. I am sorry, but this is acting. This is an actor playing the part and mocking women by doing so. And that's my position on this. That's not transphobic. I'm actually believing that I'm standing up for the trans community. I'm standing up for women that have been messaging me going, thank you, Steve, for standing up for us, that this is not what a woman would do. This is not an accurate portrayal, even if satire. Satire is one thing. This is not satire. This is ridiculous.
And how is it part of his journey on day 66? He should be embracing womanhood.
Right.
That he's like,
yeah. Being a girl, yeah. Like what girls? Okay, even taking that into consideration. Well, then what girl is walking around in heels? You know,
Right, right.
So, are you a girl or are you a woman? But here's the thing, though. Okay, so you want to put a woman in an environment like nature and try to make her be like one with nature, but also feminine and everything too. Okay, so there's two types of women who are going to do that. There, one type is kind of like fuck you, I'll wear whatever the fuck I want. The other type will be like, okay, I want to look feminine, I want to look pretty still, but I'm going to be sensible about it. But more importantly, I don't want anyone to know that I'm making that effort. It just has to look like it comes naturally. So by her doing this, she's mocking women just all around. Like she's not embracing the quiet suffering woman who goes through the bullshit to still look feminine, or she's also not embracing the woman who's like, whatever, fuck you.
I think I played this one. Absolutely. This one I think just played. So this one, again, why would a trans person go out of their way to try to be a caricature? I don't understand this.
Is he? Please tell me he's not playing a little girl.
Let dolls be dolls, please. Thank you.
Somebody explain this to me. I'm at a loss.
Wait, what did she say in the beginning? I missed that.
Let dolls be dolls.
Let dolls be dolls.
Let dolls be dolls, please. Let dolls be dolls, please. Thank you.
I mean, seriously, is this what they think the trans community is being is like benefiting, being represented by? Again, if you're a comedian and you want to portray a comedic thing, that's fine. But this person is supposed to be representing the trans community.
See, I don't even think whatever. I feel like I'm not one of the trans community, so I can't. I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't really judge whether or not they're being represented well. That's up to them. But as a woman, this is just ridiculous. Even as a man, wanting and aspiring to be a woman, she's doing a very piss poor job at it.
I agree.
Because, that's the thing. She's just, I don't know. I feel like she's just mocking everything. What the fuck are dolls? Let dolls be dolls? What the hell does that mean? Who's stopping a doll from being a doll? Like, seriously.
You know what that reminded me of? It kind of struck my trauma. Someone said to me, "You're beautiful. What do you have to worry about?" And it really offended me.
Wow. They did not.
The most to worry about.
So let me get this straight. Because you're attractive, you don't have anything to worry about. Because you walking down the street, you don't have anybody going, "Oh, I want to molest them or rape you" or anything like that. That never happens to attractive women, does it?
Ding ding.
That's a dumb comment that they made. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
But was this online or somebody you know in real life?
This was me.
No. Who said this to you? Like in real life or online?
On real life.
That's some fucked up shit, to be honest with you.
I hate that.
Yeah.
That's what that reminded me of.
Yeah. That's messed up. And it's attractive people have issues too. And if somebody's going to take that out of context and say, well, ugly people can be raped too. That's not at all what I was saying, clearly.
No, but, the I don't know, like the lack of compassion is there. Like if there was a good period of my life where I was like a size 0 and anytime I express any kind of insecurity or whatever about something, I get told, well, what do you have to worry about? You're not fat. It's like, well, there's more than just being fat.
Right.
I've been fat. I get what you're saying there. I've been fat. So yeah, I don't have that particular one, but I still have all these other ones that I had right along with being fat at the time. Those don't just disappear.
If you fight a woman that doesn't have some insecurities, let me know, because they're a unicorn.
Yeah, okay? They might not know that you ate one Kellogg's bar in 3 days.
Yeah. Every woman has insecurities. It's and men do, by the way, too. All right. So this one, like I said, I don't think you've seen this one yet, Vada. Again, if this was just some kind of weird satire stuff, I don't think anybody would care. But this person's representing Bud Light. Okay. This person's representing Nike sports bra. This person's representing a tampon. And by the way, it's like 20 now things that they're representing as a spokesperson. This is what I don't understand. What demographic would this appeal to? What if you're a Bud Light drinker, right? Why would this appeal to them as a demographic? That's what I would really like to know. So I'm gonna play this for you, Vade, because this one works. So
I am 6. I'm a city child. I live at the Plaza Hotel, which is huge and wonderful and très elegant, especially at Christmas time. I am elevated.
Sorry, the volume is low. And so
wait a second. Did he lay on the bed and his skirt go up? Will you do that one more time?
Yeah. I am 6. I'm a city
I'm 6 years old. Okay.
Plaza Hotel, which is huge and wonderful and très elegant, especially at Christmas time. I am Eloise.
Yeah, I'm again. What the hell does this have to do with Bud Light demographics and even the younger viewers? Because again, the VP of marketing, we got to attract a younger crowd. Which
he's saying he's 6 years old.
Yeah, because this comes from Eloise in the Plaza was a movie or a show or something like that. And so basically, it's a voiceover of that. But this is not somebody I would expect who is transitioning to want to become a woman to portray as a character a child.
Oh yeah, I think this is the last person that I would want to represent my butt. Like he doesn't even, or she doesn't even look like she would drink a beer.
No. I doubt
it to appeal to your audience. You want it to look appealing. I would be confused if I saw him holding or she holding a Bud Light in their hand. I'd be like, "What's
this is what they're after? 10.8 million followers." And I get from a business decision that's a lot of followers. I really do. Okay, but that doesn't mean those followers like the content creator. Some may follow just because they don't like, but two, it doesn't mean that followers is going to represent your brand properly and there won't be backlash.
Do you know what I really think might be happening here for the left wing? What might be happening is beer's always been a manly man thing. Mm-hmm. So they might be perceiving it as you're putting a transgender person that really wants to be a woman. Michael, you might be insulting the men, like saying the men are girly.
Yeah, there might be a few like that. Sure. Yeah, I get that there's some people out there that will say that, and I understand that. But that's not transphobic. The burly, manly man kind of thing that are going to drink Bud, my truck and my Bud and my car and my dog, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, they're probably not going to be somebody that's going to really be represented by the transgender community. That's just reality. But you know what? Still, most of them aren't going to give a shit one way or another if they like the beer. When you have somebody, though, that likes women, let's assume you have this big, burly Southern truck driving, love my guns and my dog, America. They like women. When you have somebody mocking women, they're going to get upset by that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what really the core is happening here. They're getting upset that Dylan is mocking the very thing that Southern man, loves, guns and girls.
Well, it's sort of like Brad Pitt doing a Maybelline commercial. That's what I feel like here.
That would have been more appropriate, though.
Which that would kind of be hot.
Right. I mean? Some women might like that. I don't. Yeah, exactly. So I again, this is just my view on it. People have been saying, "Oh, well, there's no objective factor." Well, there's some objective factor by looking at the videos, but look, you can have a subjective opinion. Not everything has to be X equals X. Okay, there are some arguments that are made based upon inductive reasoning here that this might be a bad actor. That's all. And I mean a bad actor as far as representing the trans community. And that's what I've been calling out for on my social media for days now. And so when people are like, "Oh, you're against trans," no, my thing was if you would have had a better representative, then you probably wouldn't have had this backlash, Bud Light. But you pick somebody who mocks women and is making a mockery of the trans community. This is, again, my subjective opinion.
Yeah. Do you have the clip where they're advertising the Bud Light?
I apologize. I'm sorry, Goddess Scummer. I understand your pain, and I very much am apologizing. Goddess says, "Okay, I have to speak up because this stream is offensive. Can we please stop calling Budweiser beer?" I'm sorry. I don't know what else to call it besides flavored water. Grain flavor, wheat flavored water. Can we call it that?
Even barley is giving it too much credit.
Barley flavored water. Look, I get it. I happen to like Bud Light on tap. It's low calorie, and I don't want to get drunk or something like that. But you know what? If I want a real beer, then yes, I'll go with an IPA or a good pale ale, which is a type of IPA. But yeah, I get it. Yeah. Look. Keep makes a brilliant point. I think Brad Pitt's ad for Maybelline only enter in Japan. That would be brilliant over there.
Yeah.
Japanese would probably love that, right?
I think everybody would buy Maybelline if Brad Pitt was on there.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, so what else?
That reminds me of Joey Tribbiani with the blue lipstick for the commercials in Japan. Remember that from Friends?
Yeah, Friends. Yeah.
But that fits because it's comfortable. This guy gives me the creeps. I don't know. I mean, girl.
You wear blue lipstick though.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And they like to hate on her blue lipstick, but I love it.
So like this article here, wait, if you guys, well, here, I'll just wait, here, this article here, is from the Critic. It's Performance of a Lifetime it's called. And I'm not gonna read the whole article, but I really think the first line just nails it. The very first line nails it. If a man seeks to humiliate a woman he encounters, nothing is easier than reducing her appearance to a mere caricature.
Yeah.
How is that not what Dylan's doing?
Exactly. He's absolutely belittling women and making them feel like they're dumbass bimbos.
Yep. And men, they say men do this in front of the women. They're targeting lifting their voices to squeak, exaggerating hand gestures, gesticulating, pushing out pretend breasts, wiggling their bum, pounding and filling with their hair. The reason why, because these are typical things that women will do, play with their hair. They have a higher voice. So these are things, again, if done in earnest and it's satire, that's fine. Right? Nothing's wrong with pointing out that there are basic stereotypical differences that you can make light of in a fun way, not to demean. And that's the difference. Dylan is doing these things to demean women, not to just point out the minor stuff. Like,
No, you see, here's the thing. Okay.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me? I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. No, I had to change. Okay. Here's the thing, though. When you do parody or you like kind of roast or whatever, make fun of a group or whatever, it's customary to punch up. Okay.
That's true.
You're not.
That's true.
You shouldn't see you're not going to see straight guys making fun of gay guys. You're not going to see. You know what I mean? You're just not going to punch down because then you're a bully. Then you're an asshole. Now here's the thing, though. Is Dylan punching up or down?
Yeah, he's I don't people to pretty much think women are
right because I mean, I think he's either punching at the same level as him as she is, or she's punching down. Yes, because when it comes to I don't know where you rate in society or whatever, it's the people who deal with the least amount of maybe criticism or discrimination or whatever are usually straight white males. Okay, so here we have Dylan, who's not straight but still a white male. Okay, and on the I don't know, this society ladder of things or whatever, where does that put Dylan in comparison to women?
Well, yeah.
I don't know the answer. I don't know.
You mock the majority. You don't. If you start mocking the minority, that's not satire. That's bullying, right? When you start,
you're punching down. Yeah,
right.
You're punching down.
And Snake said, the doll audio was already immune. Well, we know this. Yes, outside of trans people and Dylan, our sister women mocking women too. But again, you're missing the point of the intent of the mockery. Here's a person who's supposed to represent the trans community that is mocking women, the very thing that they want to become, which is nonsensical unless you look at it from a point of view as here's a gay man pretending to be a woman by acting because he's known as an actor and he's faking it to fleece basically and the whole transgender activism things which has been going on. He's just profiting off of it when he's done no work for it. He's not an activist. It's not cherry picking. It's a holistic thing. It's a lot going into this. Why people are so outraged about picking Dylan of all people.
And yes, cis women do make fun and mock women because they're women, and it's where you have to be the thing that you're mocking in a sense,
right?
And I get it. I can absolutely look at Dylan and refer to Dylan as female and everything, and yeah, sure. But in this sense, you're pretty much you're mocking women, it's not going to be received well if it's not coming from someone who truly knows and has lived the life of a woman and understands the bullshit that we go through, why we do the stupid shit that we do.
But you're a woman. You have no voice. You're a woman. You don't get an opinion that matters in these things, according to some people. It's weird that it went from believe all women, which I thought was bullshit. Again, you believe people with evidence. You don't believe a man or woman. You investigate. You believe them enough to investigate, and then you go from there. But they went from just believing all women based upon if they say this to cases. We're not going to believe women when they say this person's making a mockery of them. And by the way, I'll give you a perfect example of how this comes into play. The other day, there's another channel that you guys talk about that had labeled Vada Tube Top Tammy as an insult.
Oh God.
I loved that. And I took it as something that was actually very complimentary. And so I refer to her as Tube Top Tammy as respectful.
I got a heavy chest. I get hot easy. I have ADHD.
But that's the difference.
The only people who say tube top Tammy as though it's an insult are the ones who can't hold up a tube top.
Yeah, and so again, but this goes into the difference between how something is used. They wanted to use tube top Tammy to insult, but everybody else now in your community are like, we love this. Go tube top Tammy, right? It's like turned into like it's something that has been turning a negative into a positive because it's the intent. It wasn't nobody on this side calling you tube top Tammy is meant to insult you by any stretch of the imagination. This is something you're aware of, and so you don't take it as such.
Well, they just now started potato. What does potato mean? Like, what are they saying?
Okay, well, that's a little bit different. Okay, so if you really, I'll tell you, and this is going to sound bad because this is where it comes from. The term potato was a pejorative used to refer to people with Down syndrome.
Oh shit! Come on.
Yeah, no, I'm not even. No, and unfortunately, it's when they use that term and they call somebody potato, sometimes they will want it to be me. You use this, like they're dumb as a potato. But the original thing for a very long time, when you call somebody a potato, you really were trying to compare them to somebody with Down syndrome or somebody who lacked the mental intellect to understand something in a very demeaning way. It wasn't. I use the term turnip. You're as smart as a turnip because I avoid that whole potato thing because of that very reason. How it was used to stigmatize and demean people with Down syndrome. So I use turnip.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that than no brain at all.
Yeah.
They spend more time hunting for their brains than hunting for Molly.
Who was calling people a potato?
Unirate. She's mad because I said Unirate had a little cock. I don't think she'll ever get over that. And so she started calling me that. And I told her, whatever. Listen between my ears, between his legs.
That's hilarious.
See, if my man didn't have a little one and someone said,
why would you defend it?
I'd be like, okay, whatever. Okay, you're an idiot. I'd laugh it off and walk away, forget about it. But if he did have a little one and someone was making fun of his little one, then I'd get mad. So Unirage just pretty much confirmed that Unirage has a little one.
She sounds very defensive for something that doesn't need to be usually defended.
She's different than me. I would have posted a picture of it and been like, you want to say it's little? Here it is. But I'm weird like that.
Oh God!
And I would have shown him mine too because I got a pretty big one.
Let's go back on this. So this person says, however, when it comes to Dylan Mulvaney, the TikTok user become famous for his grotesque parody of women. See, it's not just me. Women are not supposed to react critically. Again, not just you. They are seen as cruel or transphobic if they express annoyance of being grossly insulted. That's as far as I'm going to go on this. You guys can read it later.
But that's mocking the trans community. Like then we would, oh my God, like we would be horrible assholes, and we would be, rightfully so. So why? I mean, and I get it because there's like the discrimination and the hardships and everything. Well, women have our own discrimination and hardships too. That's what I mean by, is this punching up or down? This is, that's what I think, where I think all this confusion comes into, because I think some people think it's punching up and some think it's punching down, and that's where
explain the snake again. It deals with intent. It's not about the mockery. Mockery can be fun if it's done with good intent, whether you punch up or down. Usually it's punching up, but this is somebody who has derided women for ages, has made a living mocking them, from going on to Ellen, going on the Price is Right show, being this overtop caricature. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, I can make more money and status and have, people feed my narcissistic supply if I pretend to be trans. Because nothing in that year-long thing was anything dealing with trans. It had to do with him making fun of women each day. Yeah.
If he was really transforming, why isn't his body transforming to a woman's?
They can't explain that either.
I see a little bit of a change in his face, in her face.
Well, from my understanding, that she has had some facial stuff done, to more feminine surgery. That might be true, but definitely nothing that I've seen.
Usually, when a transgender person is displaying their story, they're showing you where they had top surgery. They're showing where they're showing the journey of actually becoming physically a woman.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's weird that
people because if they want to be seen as that gender, then they need to show people that, look at me, I'm that gender. I mean, and just it becomes normalized. You forget that they were ever the other gender, really.
We get that he's joking. I don't think this person gets what we're saying. We get that he's joking, and it's
like,
Yeah.
listen, like I look at it this way. Like I'm not mad. I'm not upset about this.
No,
movie.
no, no. I wouldn't.
I don't give a shit.
You shouldn't be. This is not
But-
outrage. Oh, they're mocking women,
right.
but somebody who's pretending to be trans doing this. That's what I find offensive.
I mean, I do. It does seem kind of odd. I do sense everything you're saying for the most part. Yeah, absolutely. And like, but I mean, like, if and I don't, I realize I'm probably going to compare Dylan to like the most the embodiment of a trans woman. Okay, like say like bring up like say RuPaul for example. Okay, and I'm not big in the trans community. I don't know that many trans women, so that's who I'm going to go with. I can't see RuPaul behaving like this as a trans woman on video, and she's very funny, you know. RuPaul when she's all dressed up as RuPaul, and she's very funny. She's entertaining. I like watching her, but I can't see her doing any of this.
Me either.
You know, I mean, I don't know. That's maybe I'm comparing Dylan to the elite, but I don't know.
Some things he does is insensitive, and I think that he's getting the wrong or she's getting the wrong read. Yeah, I don't know because she's not. It's hard to mock women if you've never really been a woman to know what we feel like. So when you do certain things, it's insensitive because you are assuming that we are a certain way, and we're not that way. Some of us are not that way, and our lives are not just daisies and roses and beer and fucking Skittles because you know we're women.
April brings up a good point.
Not go running through the woods in heels and then screaming about a bug.
Nobody does. Nobody does. April, well, the bug things I've seen happen, but not in heels. April says, you know, you're trying to read off tones of somebody who clearly doesn't have normative social skills. I'm not convinced you're getting an accurate reading. Okay, so if this is the case, let's even go with this. Why would you present somebody to represent a Bud Light brand if they don't have normative social skills that easily can be misrepresented? Anybody who would have done a survey on this saying, hey, do you think this is a good idea to put this person as the brand representative would have said, no, they come across as having poor social skills, not honest, not somebody who's really develops a trust with the brand, and it's off brand from the demographics. Anybody would have said this. I don't know how they did it. They should have had focus groups, but you're admitting, April, that Dylan doesn't have social skills, and I agree with you. I don't think he does. But why would you want that somebody as the brand then if they don't have social skills? You're dealing with people. Social skills are a must.
Well, the beer has a past. It has a story to it, and I think what's happening here is that they want the background of the beer, and you know, some beers have a you get what I mean. They have a history of how they were made and all of that, and then this they want that tradition to stick, and they want someone representing that tradition and what they stand for.
Yeah, look, and okay, April says that was a dumb call. Well, quick, April says it was a dumb call for bad choice for Bud. You know what? Dylan would have been great for skincare product or something. It would have been fine. You know, moisturizer, Dove or something.
Or camouflage heels.
Yeah, there. Yeah, okay.
It was a joke.
You want to have heels and camouflage so you don't see them when you're out hiking in high heels, because you know a lot of women do that, obviously.
I hope Nonsense doesn't see this stream and twist everything. You know,
here's what I think.
She doesn't watch my channel.
Dylan is a trans enough woman, is trans woman enough to make the homophobics uncomfortable.
Yes,
but she's not like understanding and relatable enough to inspire any females or you know, the group that she wants to fit in with, whatever, because people are going to look at her like, well, that doesn't seem like it seems like you're insulting, you know? So it's like she's just a little bit too much here and for their comfort, but not embodiment enough over here to win over their affection. I don't know.
Like, a transgender being a sexist is what it seems like.
You know, what's funny is I happen to like Tropic Thunder, and Robert Downey Jr. Did that part magnificently, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And yet, but Robert Downey Jr. wasn't trying to mock black people. That was never his intent. And every person who's seen that movie knows exactly. He was, it's like the stereo, it's like white guy trying to play a black guy, trying to play a white guy, trying to play a black guy. There's a lot of nuance in that movie, but he wasn't trying to be
white people, if anything.
He really was, if anything. But that's not somebody who's representing a brand saying that, oh, they are being trans and suffering from gender dysphoria. Robert Downey Jr. wasn't saying, oh, I believe that I'm actually a black man. No, but Dylan is saying that he believes, he's trying to convince people he's suffering being transgender, which means that he believes he is a female in a man's body. He was born male. He admits that he was a gay man, and yet there's no sign of any gender dysphoria. Where is this? Show me where this gender dysphoria is. I'm not saying that you have to be gender dysphoria. There's some controversy whether you have to have just gender dysphoria to be trans. It's called somebody in my live chat can remind me. I don't remember the term that they use, but there's a term for that, whether you have to suffer from gender dysphoria or not. But there's just nothing that Dylan has gone through to have any kind of mental trauma where you look at Dylan and go, oh yeah, they're really suffering. What he's actually said was, oh yes, I'm suffering because women have made me feel this way.
He's sexist.
I gotta.
Oh, he's misogynist.
I have to agree with that.
He's misogynist.
I have to agree with that because, I feel like when you experience the worst trauma you've experienced, then your other trauma, your previous trauma, just doesn't quite seem as much anymore. You know what I mean? As messed up as that is, like your very worst trauma, like kind of makes your other traumas pale a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But so, and when Dylan's sitting there saying like day 66 of being a girl, whatever, even just get over the girl. Let's say she said woman. It's 66 days of living life as a female, and you're going to try and tell me that you know all about being a female right now. When I've done this for 48 years now.
Right.
No.
Like he's shaming us. Like, I just looked up sexist, characterized by or showing prejudice, stereotyping, or discrimination typically against women on the basis of sex. Absolutely what he's doing. Yeah.
And by the way, only surgery Dylan got was more feminization, which gay men do all the time. There was no gender affirming surgery. He's not had any top surgery. He says he's had hormone replacement therapy, but people that have weighed in on this that know far more about it than I do have had hormone replacement therapy have said there's no indication whatsoever of being on hormone replacement therapy.
See, I'm gonna just go ahead and give that to her because, like, I look at it this way: even if she's faking transitioning, she should take some. She's going awfully far to do that. So that tells me that she either really wants to be a woman or she's just perfectly fine with being a woman.
Well, or
either way, I accept it. Yeah, either way,
or she's taking hormone replacement therapy because there's just good money in being trans for her.
Well, I want everybody to know, this is my introduction tonight to this person. So I'm just everybody has their first impression judgments. I'm going to look deeper into this and see if my opinion changes.
You know what? Looking deeper into this, but also Dylan happens to be friends with another person we talked about named Jeremy Marsh. Are you familiar with that story?
No.
Okay.
Jeremy Marsh. Is that an influencer?
Jeffrey Marsh is an influencer that and this is all straight up true, made it a Patreon to talk to kids behind their parents' back about sex because he feels that there's no such thing as boys and girls. And he feels that parents have, quote, screwed you up as a child and that he loves them and he knows more about how to raise them and talk to them than their own parents. This is straight up what Jeremy Marsh has said.
Does anybody's parents allow this?
I've done videos on this particular topic on Jeremy Marsh, and Jeremy Marsh and Dylan happen to be friends.
Oh hell!
See, I think that maybe
Jeffrey,
I think maybe in his situation, something happened in his childhood where he just kind of got like a little bit stunted, maybe. And when it comes to gender, I don't know. I feel like there's more to the story there.
With Jeffrey?
Yeah, with Jeffrey. That's fucked up.
Okay.
I'll tell you right now, if you're doing that, you are grooming or you are giving the appearance that you're grooming, even if you're not. Either way, you should have enough sense to not want to fucking do that.
Yeah,
100%. That has been my position from day one when it came to Jeffrey Marsh. Exactly. Even if he's not a groomer, the fact that he's not recognizing what he's doing is absolutely the behavior of what a groomer would do. I mean, textbook. Something is seriously wrong there. That has been my argument, and that is exactly what I was saying in the other video that I did with about Jeffrey. Is that how is it that people are saying, "Oh, well, he's not actually grooming," but not recognizing the behavior is that of a groomer, regardless.
Absolutely.
Just the fact that he's insisting or he wants to talk to minors without their parents, that alone, we don't even need to hear more. It's the first place our mind is going.
I was told, oh, that never happened. They never did that. Then I show them evidence. Oh, well, it's okay for them to talk about sex, because, they're just trying to educate. Oh, get the
So
Stop
what
it.
does he
I'm
want you to
sorry.
do once you join his Patreon? What is he talking to these kids about?
About the fact, I guess he believes there's no such thing as boys and girls, or what makes a boy, what makes I don't even know, because I've never listened to his Patreon because I'm not a member of his Patreon. But it's irrelevant.
I mean, as you're talking about it, there's a good chance that the message he wants to convey may be a message that I even support. I don't know, but it's the manner in which he's going about it that I'm not even going to get to that point, because right off, I'm closed off right at the beginning, right at the jump. I'm like,
red flag.
Yep.
That's creepy to even come up with for your social media. Like, who thinks of that kind of shit? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know that. What the hell?
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I'm so sick of people like on my Facebook saying that you're not even allowed to talk about this. That if you even say you're critical of Jeffrey Marsh or Dylan Mulvaney, that all of a sudden you're transphobic, when almost everybody that I've ever talked to that agrees with this says there are other influencers that would have been far better as spokespersons. We didn't even really get to the Nike thing. Like, again, why is Dylan a spokesperson from Nike Sports Bra? I'm completely at a loss for this.
I think because really Nike can market their shit to women because it's a bra, but I guess if you can market it to men too, I don't know.
Because reasons. Now, again, I'm not into the performative stuff. I know people have been burning their bras over this. I get this, like it's some kind of 70s protest. What? Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
I have that here. I actually have it here somewhere. Yeah.
Why do people care? Like, why?
Woman burns Nike bra.
Your identity. I mean,
and this is from Pink News, by the way. Women burns Nike bra in pathetic protest over collab with trans TikToker Mulvaney. I happen to agree with them. I think it's stupid. I mean, this burning bras went out in the 60s and 70s, and there's reasons why women were protesting, because you gotta remember, at one time, believe it or not, women
didn't symbol. Yes, it
women
was
didn't have
with the patriarch. Yeah,
women didn't even have the right to vote. There was something called suffrage, women's suffrage. And then, of course, the Vietnam War and other things where women were just sick of men sending kids to die, basically, in Vietnam.
Women were sick of like not being able to have credit cards or like rape not being against the law if it's your husband, shit like that.
Yeah.
So it was a symbol of all of that. It was, fuck you, patriarch,
And I'm absolutely for that. Look, if it's so funny, because I had asked somebody, what is it that you think that trans and gay people don't have as far as actual rights, as opposed to anybody else? And this is a serious question. Maybe I'll have a video on it one day. What is it they're lacking? And I'm not saying that there isn't. I'm just saying, what do you think that they are? Because when it comes to the laws are more protective of them than anybody right now. And
that's because they're getting killed and stuff. I don't know.
Well, yes, but that's not. But there are laws. I'm saying that there are laws, against hate crimes. And but as Aaron, as you said, at one time, and there are some people that still believe this. If you're in the confines of marriage, there's no such thing as rape, which is one of the biggest bullshits ever. That had to change. That had to change, and it had changed. It changed because of people actually standing up and saying, "This is bullshit. There needs to be something done." But this is not this performative shit. That's not how you fix things.
And I don't want to come up. I feel like your comments are perceiving something the wrong way. I just want to say, I respect that someone that is transgender is being brave enough to come out here and advocate for their women's rights, because technically they are women. If they transform to a woman, they are a woman. They have every single right as we do to run for a Nike commercial or a tampon commercial. I get that. I just don't like who they chose.
Yeah, but who directed that in the live chat?
Well, they think that a couple of people have said maybe we're perceiving it wrong, or we're taking the wrong read. Remember, you had put a comment saying that we might be reading this wrong, and I just want to make sure that y'all know it's not anything to do with transgender whatsoever or them representing. It's the person.
Yeah. Well, Jeffrey Marsh doesn't say that they're trans. Jeffrey Marsh is non-binary, so that's why.
Right. And I want to just add too, I know that like Steve said or whatever, this could be like a money grab or whatever. I'm going to disagree with Steve on that one, just because I look at it from my point of view. I love money. Don't get me wrong. I'm just as capable of being a sellout as anyone else. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not I don't see me ever like taking like male hormones for money, or is any kind of gimmick or scheme or whatever. So I mean, if
all right, but let me ask you
if
this:
Dylan is going to those extremes, either she really does want to be a woman, or she's fine with if she's a woman.
I'll give you pushback since you disagree with me and you didn't get creamed and kicked off. I'm gonna disagree with you, and let me run this by you real quick. Maybe it's not for the money, but arguendo, if Dylan is the narcissist that I think that they are, would not be whatever they do is for attention seeking, including taking HRT.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I agree with that. That's why I say either she really wants to be a woman, or she's fine.
Okay,
she's okay
with it for the attention.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, though, I consider it.
This is how adults have a conversation.
I
they
think
can disagree
once
with
she
each
does
other.
transform, she's not going to be happy. I don't think she'll ever meet her goal of and fully feel like a woman.
Raise a girl.
I don't think she will, because she just has too much animosity. It seems like towards women.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, Dylan has been very hostile toward women, and I don't think that they can keep the charade up for very long. A few years at tops, but we'll see. Yeah. But yeah, raising girls has the world lost it. Why do people keep burning things they bought? Come to her, has your money. I agree. But again, this was a protest for whatever. But by the way, there was a video of a steamroller going over like large amounts of Bud Light and stuff like that. But that was not in protest. That actually was expired beer from like Mulvaney or something like that from a long time ago. Had nothing to do with the whole Bud Light thing. And look, if you don't want to drink Bud Light because of the controversy who they pick, don't. I don't care. I think it's, again, performative. Drink what you like. But again, people do respond to advertisements with their patronage. I understand that.
It might be a territory thing, like, y'all took over this and took over this, like, leave our shit alone kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain that, but I don't know how to explain it without coming off wrong. But I know how certain people think, and especially people that drink beer. I know, there's a lot of people that are just like, we're used to just leave our things the way it is. Please don't bring controversy or attention to it. We just want our old fashioned way it is, whatever the end.
By the way, now I don't know if this is true or not. This is, I realize the New York Post is probably not the most
beerish water.
Beerish water. It's beer flavored water. But this is what they're saying now. No one at senior level of Bud Light knew of the Dylan Mulvaney ad campaign. I don't know how I can believe this though, and the reason being is because when you have Anheuser-Busch, which is AB InBev, is the parent organization for Budweiser and Bud Light and many other beers, nobody does anything without major approval,
right,
from the upper management. Nobody does anything. I've been in retail over 20 years, and there is always somebody there to make sure that what they're putting out goes through marketing, it goes through testings, it goes through numerous VP signatures. So I don't buy this, that the Bud Light's controversial marketing deal with the transgender social media influencer Dylan Mulvaney has ignited speculation that the top executives at the corporate parent Anheuser-Busch may have been blindsided by the tie-up when it was real. I don't buy that. I just can't.
I would buy that if they came out and said this the day after this campaign launched. But how long after it launched did they come out with this?
Yeah, because exactly. Like, I was blindsided by it. We hope it works, right?
Oh, you just heard about it now? Oh, okay then. Like, what
this looks like some PR. They're trying to cover up PR. This is a PR sort of stunt here.
Yeah, people really don't like Bud. I'm sorry. I still drink Bud Light. I don't care. Look, I don't give a shit about the beer picking, a transgender person. I don't give a shit about people not liking the beer. I happen to like Bud Light occasionally, but the fact that again, they just pick somebody who's so off brand, nobody's going to respond to that.
Nobody's going to connect with that.
Nobody's going to connect with that. No.
I'm a liquor person all day. I'm a Jose Cuervo. I'm liquor. I don't even like beer.
So what was it? For example, Jose Cuervo? Go ahead, Aaron, and I'll give you.
I was just saying, Bud Light was already like the Nickelback of beers. I mean, whatever. Just
yeah. Well, what's funny is the VP in marketing even said, "Look, we are dying. The brand's dying. Bud Light's going downhill. We need to tap into a new audience, right? So she got a mandate to be more inclusive, but I think she totally missed the mark on it. But what happened if Jose Cuervo, which is predominantly from south of the border, had Trump as their spokesperson? It wouldn't go over very well with Hispanics probably. And come on, or what happens if you put Ebony Magazine decided to have David Duke on the cover or something? It's just, come on, know your audience here.
Right. You want to,
Well,
you want it to connect.
I mean, I don't understand if you're worried about your brand, the product you sell going downhill or whatever, why not put the money into bettering that product?
Right.
That's
Raisin Girl makes a brilliant point. Do you think with Balenciaga that they were totally innocent, that they didn't know what was going on with the marketing when they said, oh, we farmed it out some third party, and they started to have all these pedophilic type images, and we didn't know what was going on? Bullshit.
Maybe they saw his view count and they wanted attention onto their beer. They thought maybe this would be a win, because the guy's got so many followers. They're like, well, we could cause a little controversy, and sometimes that comes out as a positive, and our beer will be popular.
Maybe they did, and maybe they said this might be a little controversial. We'll see what happens with it. I can understand them from a marketing point of view, but they way woefully underestimated their demographics, and they woefully underestimated the fact that when you have somebody that they didn't fully vet properly, I don't think. That's the backlash. And by the way, yes, I happen to like IPAs. Not I don't like a triple IPA is one of the nastiest beers I've ever had. Double can be a hit or miss, but I just a single IPA can be one of the best beers out there. Yes, I like a single IPA. Yeah, the whole Balenciaga thing is creepy.
No IPAs for me. Disgusting.
Well, you know what? We can't be friends. So
yeah, gross.
I had a really good beer on tap at work the other night. It was Mango Cart. It wasn't a sour, I don't think, but maybe a little bit. Like, I don't like the sours, I like just a little bit of sour, but it was so good. Oh my God, it was so fucking good. And
I told you,
I'm really a big beer drinker.
You just put straight Patron in a glass for me with a shaker on the side. About 3 of those, I'm good.
Just give me the the bottle and an IV, and I'm fine.
Yeah, beer, it takes me too long to get lit. I'm ready to start stripping quick. So you gotta. I want a buzz that's going to hit me straight on.
I made it. When I make myself a mixed drink, if I want to have what's called an after it, which is an after dinner drink. I hope I pronounced that right. Then I will pick. I like orange juice, and then I get this pina colada mix drink. I put them together, and then I put in a little bit of brandy, a little bit of triple sec, and some Kraken rum, and that shit is good.
Oh yeah.
It's good. I could drink that stuff all day long because you don't even taste the alcohol. But as April points out, that she didn't know who Balenciaga was before the controversy. I didn't know either. I had no idea. So yes, it was definitely something that put them on the map, but not in a positive way. I wouldn't want my company to be known for having a PR campaign dealing with some kind of sadomasochistic underage stuff. That's just not the brand. I mean, you're never going to get out of that. You're never going to get away from that.
Stream tonight, Steve, because it just reminded me that I need to be looking into the news more and getting out of this narrow tunnel that I have been feeling stuck in on social media. Every time I want to stray to go to something else, I get pulled right back to that. Or you know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, you're stuck on your nonsense stuff, and I try to be diversified. Look, so what's funny? I have a friend of mine who I respect. I'm not going to mention who they are specifically because it doesn't matter. But they are a well-educated person.
Oh, thank you. I respect you too, Steve.
How'd you guess? And they messaged me. And this is, like I said, is a PhD level person, and they're like, Steve, by the way, what's your obsession with this guy Dylan? And I said to them, it's only been 3 weeks. I was like, this is in the news, and that I talk about all kinds of stuff that's in the news, whatever piques my interest, especially because of time constraints. I have to pick something. I can't go to everything, but I pick something that I find of interest and I talk about it. How is that obsession? And this is the first time somebody who's actually told me you're right. They walked it back. They're like, yes, you're right. That isn't the word to be used here.
They're trolling.
No. I love this person. Is somebody I've known for absolutely years. A well-respected person who has some great videos. But they walked it back because they realized, no, it is an obsession. And we've been talking about why I believe that Dylan is not a good spokesperson because they didn't know who Dylan was. They were just defending Dylan ad hoc. But I've had, people on my Facebook page, oh, you're obsessed by this. It's been 3 weeks. Stop throwing out hyperbolic words, really, because you want to shut down the conversation. That's not an obsession. If you feel like somebody in the media is worth talking about, you have every right to talk about them for weeks if you wish, because it's still in the news cycle. That's
you
not
have to
obsession.
research. It makes you look better because you're researching and taking your time.
Correct. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
I got to
look
know
at it this way.
how did Molly become a sister wife?
Yeah, and I appreciate it, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve,
What's that?
we didn't
What the
know that
fuck?
we had a new wife added to our sisterhood.
What? I thought you were the latest wife.
Oh no, Molly is apparently, and she's got bigger. tits
Molly
than mine.
Golightly? Somebody who I've
Yeah.
never even spoken to before?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
We found out
Dude,
that
she hasn't put in a fraction of the time and energy that we put in. That's some fucked up shit, Steve.
So how's she going to be the spokesperson for our cult and my sister wife if you guys have done all the dirt and all the work? Damn, that's just unfair.
Well, you got snitched on, and we were really pissed about it. I was like, this is some bullshit.
This is news to me. Like I said, I've never talked to Molly. But Justin's right. The IPAs, the triple and the doubles are very hoppy, very, very hoppy. The triples undrinkable.
I look at it this way. I am all for Dylan being a trans woman. I'm all for. I don't care if she's on 50 beer cans. I don't care. I don't even care if she's the voice for Tampax or whatever. I don't give a shit. I don't care. But here's just my only take on it. I just don't understand why, in order for her to be accepted as a trans woman, she has to throw me as a woman, under the bus to do it.
Right.
That's all.
And by the way, her face on her face on the light cans was not something to be sold. It was a commemorative just to Dylan.
Oh, okay.
So they weren't to be sold. They were very limited. But why didn't they give those to any other trans woman who's actually, again, been an activist promoting transgender causes that Dylan never did? Why?
Yeah.
I don't get that.
That's a good point. That's a real good point. Why should she get all the accolades of being an advocate for the trans community when I'm not? I mean, what kind of advocacy has she been doing other than her own social media?
Nothing. It's all been about Dylan. It's all been attention seeking. And every one of these pictures I've seen of Dylan has the same duper delight smile. Every one of them just seems very insincere to me.
Well, people will do anything for their clicks and views. I should just get on camera with what are those things y'all wear in football? G-strap? Is it the G-strap?
A jock strap, you mean?
There we go.
No, I see a guy knows what a jock strap is. When a woman
I'm still going to go on camera with one of those.
I get it. Yes, you know what? They should send you a bunch of jock straps, Vada, and then you should give them out to guys. You need to carry around a jock strap with you wherever you go, just when some guy needs one. When he's doing some sports thing,
Well, I thought about getting one and trying to make my own customized dildo system because I thought that would be really cool.
I think it's probably already been done.
Wow, the ones that they sell.
All right. So what does the jacks? I mean, I've heard wearing a cup or whatever in sports, so there's no damage done. But
what do you think the cup goes in? What do you think the cup goes in? There's a pouch in there in the front.
Oh, so that's why. Okay. All right.
Sarah.
I don't know.
Jesus.
Yeah. You learned something.
That reminds me, back in the 60s or whatever. I remember reading this in a book. When a woman got her period, the pad had to go into this belt thing or whatever, some shit like that. So it's almost like that, huh? All right, maybe not.
I thought they just used rags or something.
No, it's now you know what's so funny. Now I know how a woman feels when she's trying to explain how a tampon is supposed to be used properly to somebody who's some guy that's never seen it. It's like, what? Wait, how does that work?
I'd be glad that I didn't have that problem.
No, that's funny.
I did find it quite surprising how it just immediately just poofed right up in the water. I never thought it would happen.
Did you guys happen to let Nikki know that we have a new sister wife or Tina or any of them? Because they're gonna be shocked. They're gonna be shocked. I've never
met Tina.
Oh, really? Oh,
they gotta kill you, Steve. Those two will fuck you up.
One, 2, 3, 4, I'm guessing probably 5 ahead.
Well, list us in order from your favorite to least favorite.
Oh hell no! I don't. Nobody ever does that. They don't do that shit. No,
Yeah,
that's
How
so
do you
much
know?
fun. I could just say, well, I could do this. I could just say this: Aaron Monday, Vada Tuesday, Tina Wednesday, Molly.
Well, you can at least list us by our characteristics. I know I'm the nerd one, probably.
I get
Like-
Monday.
Yeah,
Do
Monday's
I
the
look at
best
Monday
day.
stick?
Monday's the best day. You know?
I want to be Wednesday hump day. That's
This
the
is-
best
this
day
is-
to be.
this
Are you
is-
kidding me?
This is how rumors get started. I mean, you Rady, you remember the whole thing with, Steve was on scam with Aaron and Renell, and he was just like watching porn and fapping away. And I'm thinking nothing against Aaron or Renell by any stretch of imagination, but it's like, wouldn't I have all my sister wives together and just do it all at one time and get it out of the way or something?
Well, the creepiest
You
part
know?
was Unirock reacting to it, like you saw.
He loved
Did
it.
you see that,
He thought
Aaron?
that was
He was
funny.
like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's
He was
creepy.
like crazy.
But then when
Creepy
Laura
as
does
shit.
a poll, asking, hey, who's got the smaller penis? And this 3 of them Rock wins. I can't believe how they just can't stop thinking about my private parts, or whatever. Like, bitch,
Right?
you run around telling people how Steve paid guys to fuck his girlfriend, and then you're
Right.
watching porn on my fucking live stream. What are you thinking about?
Yeah,
And
I guess I'm a cuck, and I guess I just stream with you and Renell and just watch porn the entire time because that's what people usually do, I guess. But that's okay for him to throw things out there. But when you guys talk about his micro penis, all of a sudden, Uni Rach has to like, he doesn't really have. It's not really a. It's not really a micro
I made
penis.
it 4 of my community posts.
Yeah,
I didn't know I did that in 4 different posts that said that.
Most guys don't give a shit about talking about their penis size. It's and that's the only time I got to use the word penis because reasons, biologically speaking.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought you didn't use
We
that
don't
word.
use that word. I don't use that word. Right. I only use it in the biological sense.
Oh yeah,
That's my point. I only use it in the biological sense because any other time you're going to hear me say the word cock or dick. It's just a Navy thing,
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna use it like in a sexual way, like really, that penis, like
It doesn't work for you.
It sounds comfortable to me.
Yeah.
I don't think when people like do cyber sex or they start getting all sexy talk, that's not a word that generally comes up.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
If
Would
any
you-
guy
no,
asked me if I would
please.
like to go down on his, I would be like, no, not
It's
happening.
the same thing. Like, it's like, please spank my gluteus maximus. Please, my gluteus maximus.
Or,
No, it doesn't work.
or if a woman keeps calling it her vagina.
Oh yeah,
Well, there are dirty
yeah, but JJ, that's but JJ.
I'd expect to get kicked out of bed at that point. I don't know.
More than likely, yeah. Right. Anyways, we're gonna wrap this up. So I think we got their point across that look, this has nothing to do with transphobia. I mean, sure, there's probably some people out there that are going to be transphobic regardless. Fuck them. Who cares? They're not worth having a conversation with. But I think the people that are saying, hey, look, this is not the best choice of spokesperson for these brands and they're getting vilified for it, it's only adding fuel to the fire. If people hadn't had such backlash to the people that are speaking out, this probably would have died out.
Mhm.
But people that are giving me backlash, I talk about it even more. Because first of all, people are not going to tell me what I cannot talk about. But when they say that I'm, by calling out what I think to be a dishonest agent in the trans and LGBTQ plus communities, that to me is dishonest when they're going to label me transphobic or a bigot merely because I believe somebody is dishonest in those communities. That's ridiculous.
No, don't listen to that.
I don't.
I think my final thought on this is like, I don't know if this is a good representation of the trans community or bad or whatever. I don't think that that's my call to make. I think that that's the trans community's call to make. I support whatever it is they go with. But and I don't care that she's trans. I don't care if she makes an entire living for being trans. I support it.
Yeah, I respect the hustle and the grift. I do in that regard. I respect the hustle.
But make no mistake though. Because as I'm watching her, as she's portraying herself as a woman, it's such a, I don't know, like it's with such animosity kind of, and everyone else is laughing at it and everyone else is glorifying it. I'm feeling like I'm being ridiculed here.
Yep.
This is
You
what
should.
as a woman.
You should.
I make no mistake. This is how I'm feeling. This is how I think a lot of women are taking this. So just know that. That's all. I mean, we support it, whatever, but we
Aaron,
see what's happening here.
Let me ask you, as myself, who has been around a very long time that have talked about controversial topics, and it almost always has come out on the right side of shit. Even takes years for people to figure their shit out and go, "Oh fuck, Steve was right." Why would this be any different when you have people that I've known a long time go, "Oh shit, Steve, Steve's gone full alt-right. Steve's, Matt Walsh follower and Ben Shapiro," which I've seen their clips and I've watched some of their stuff, but I don't follow regularly. Yes, I just, what's funny is I just started following him on Twitter for this very reason, because, okay, what the hell are they talking about? I'm like, okay, well, he might be right here, might not be right there, but I follow a lot of people on Twitter. But I wouldn't have given a shit about listening to Matt Walsh and people going, "Oh yeah, you're picking up his talking points." But I'm like, I didn't even listen to him then. These were my own opinions. But they're all, I don't get it. But you're, as a woman, I'm saying, hey, look, maybe we should listen to the women talking. Maybe we should listen to the trans people talking. And I'm getting shot down for that. I don't.
No, absolutely not. I think
not from you. I'm saying okay. Not from you.
Well, I know. I think maybe what some people might be taking that as, and in the sense of like I was saying earlier, like you have to be the thing to make fun of the thing or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you're not making fun of it. Don't get me wrong. I get that. But right. I think maybe some people might be taking that as, well, maybe you should be the thing before you speak on behalf of the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. But
if she was trans for like 4 years and then started like doing more humorous stuff, I think it would have been taken a little bit better. But this was a year-long troll to me. But Snake says this, and we can kind of leave it like this, because again, we can agree to disagree. I love the fact that so far nobody in the comment section has been disrespectful or came at it sideways. I appreciate that, because that's not what's happening on social media, not just to me, but other people out there. It's that people coming in sideways, and I'm not going to carry on conversations with those people. I'm not no interest with those people. They're not going to change my mind on anything if they come at me sideways, because I'm not going to be listening to them, because I've already put them as dishonest agents. Because if you have to insult somebody before you even give your argument, there's a problem. But still, unless you're a flat earther. Yeah. So Nick was right. Makes a good point. Dylan is a horrendous spokesperson for products, which I hope most people agree with now. And some people still don't, but I don't get it. But whatever but they say, but Snake says, but I think she's really trans, and absolutely has every right to think that. I don't, and I could be very well wrong on that. And if I am, I will absolutely backpedal on that as they speak, and I should say backpedal. That's a different word. Walk it back and apologize and say I was wrong on it. I'm happy to do that. I have no problem with that. However, the fact that we mostly all agree that Dylan was a horrendous choice, I don't see any reason to walk back, because that seems to be the current consensus among just about everybody, I think. I mean, every analyst, Budweiser themselves has issued a statement. The CEO issued a statement today. You can go read it. I'm not going to bring it up the stream because we're running long, but even they said, hey, look, our intent was not to be divisive. Our intent was not to divide. It was very, very unapologetic. It was very, very performative and very perfunctory, but it was an attempt. But the fact that the CEO had to make a statement to begin with tells you something's wrong. But I think Snake's, more than welcome. You can think she's trans. You can think that he's not trans, however you want to word it. It's all good. I don't care one way or another. But the fact that people are basically insulting people as being transphobic for speaking out against Dylan, that's why I've been doing this on my social media. That's what I've been fighting against, because when you have trans people saying, hey, look, this was not a good spokesperson, we don't even believe that they're trans. You have women saying, hey, we believe they're being mocked. And I'm one of the very few people out there going, hey, maybe this might be the case. And I have some people trying to vilify me for it. Yeah, I'm not going to buy into that. Those people are not going to get any of my attention. I'm sorry.
It reminds me of Mallory. Like Aaron was saying the other day, they don't want to speak out against Mallory, or they're going to be called transphobic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And right. Principle, certainly. All right, Steve. LOL.
That's what made me laugh a minute ago.
I'll let you read it, because this is hilarious. This is, yeah.
Oh, right, Steve. LOL. I've watched Steve for a decade at least. Never once did I think, my God, this Nazi is out of control.
Thank you. And what's funny is, I even said to something the other day, I'm like, but I'm Jewish. And like, well, Jews could be, Nazis too. I'm like, oh, really? This is where you want to go with this? But I'm like, I don't even really care for anything much from the right these days. I actually left conservatism. My daughter was named after Ronald Reagan, for Pete's sake. Okay. The Republican Party that I grew up with, and my dad grew up with, that's long gone. Modern day conservatism is a joke. I don't like any of these political people. I do not like Trump. I'm not a MAGA fan. Some people are. I don't do each his own. but I've never expressed any MAGA type stuff. I've never expressed conservative shit when they say, oh, well, about abortion rights and women have, shouldn't have any rights. And it should be, whatever the evangelicals want as a theocracy. I've been absolutely against that for how long now? Like forever. I mean, I was the one that left religion because of gay marriage, because I felt that the church that I belonged to, which was the Mormon church, was overstepping by trying to fight against gay marriage in California, Prop 8, but I think it was like 2008. So to say that, some people that think I'm all right or something because I happen to agree with maybe some of what some of the right-wing pundits are saying, but the left are saying it too. The centrists are saying it too. The trans are saying it. It's the fact that this was just a bad choice. I'm sorry. This was just a bad choice. Anyways, that was enough of my rant. But yeah, just think that I'm somehow like going down what they call the alt-right pipeline. It's just absolutely absurd. I'm critical of the right just as much as I am the left. And thank you, Raisin Girl. And yes, I actually appreciate the fact that we're friends and you've been around for a long time. Justin has been a good friend for quite some time. Been very, very kind on my webmaster, actually. And he says, it is ridiculous that if you dare give any criticism about a trans person, you're labeled as transphobic. Yeah. And that's probably why I continue to do this, because I'd like to explain critical thinking. And I like to talk about, controversial subjects. And if you cannot talk about a controversial subject without being labeled a pejorative, then all that's being done is that they're engaging in what's called repressive tolerance. And that's the motto that if you cannot out argue somebody, try to shut them down, try to vilify them, try to attack the person, because we've seen it actually, it does work sometimes. But when you try it with me, it doesn't work because I just ignore you. Anyways, yes, we argue, and look, I'm all for it. People disagree. It's how you disagree. When Aaron and I disagree, we talk about it. And we come to some kind of synthesis. We come to some kind of understanding. She's usually always wrong, but we come to an understanding. All right, go show your channel so we can get out of here because I got to get up in the morning.
You're funny.
You're supposed to be the comedian, man.
Yeah, that was some funny shit though.
We're better spokespersons for these corporations because we're funny than Dylan. But anyways, show your shit, Aaron. What do you got for us?
What do you mean show my shit? What?
Show your channel so people can go. Well, they already know you are now.
Well, I'll put it in the chat. Yeah, EKC people site. I don't know. It just I talk shit about people. I don't know.
She's shit talker.
I try to do it in a funny way, but some people don't find it funny, believe it or not. I don't know.
Oh my god, your shit's I told you the only reason I even knew who the fuck you were because I watched your entitled videos. Like, this is awesome.
I know. I don't do them as much as I like, but
they're so good. Because they're on point. They're literally like, oh, I'm listening to this going, oh shit, this person is like entitled as fuck, and you're like saying exactly what I think, and I like that because you agree with me.
There you go. I agree with Steve. This is up to me.
Vada, are you still there, Vada?
I'm here.
All right. Do you want to show your channel too?
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. Or you want me to? Let me figure out how do you.
Yeah, I didn't put anything in I did stream yours, so I don't have it in the video description. I apologize. But yeah, it's so funny about Principal Uncertainty. Talk about now get ghosted for backing Steve. Just recently, I did an interview on the channel called the what was it, the something desk. I'm sorry, I can't think of the name. But anyways, they were told, oh, you cannot do an interview with Steve. That's going to kill your channel. It has the most views now, and the most comments of people are telling them, hey, this was a great interview. This was a great guest. It was only the people that for the last 10 years for some reason have this hate boner for me that were telling them you can't have Steve on, and this person's the captive desk, and they said, you know what, fuck you. You're not going to tell me who I have on. And we had a great discussion. You had a really great discussion. And if you haven't checked it out, go check out the captive desk and, still tell them Steve sent you. And then I'm going to be on Braxton Hunter's channel on the 28th. He has about 17,000 subs on the Trinity Network. And we're going to be talking about my paper on the presumption of atheism because it's getting some traction. I actually have talked to a friend of mine named Dr. Jas Rasmussen, who wrote a book with Alexander Pruss if you guys know who he is, a really big name, called Necessary Existence. And he's doing some reviews for Stanford Encyclopedia, but he loves my paper. He thought it was on point. He thinks I'm making waves, and we wanted to work together. Maybe, or I want to work with him, and he said he would, on writing something about agnostic atheism. So that's pretty cool. That I'm really proud of that. So it's a little show for myself there. All right. With that, I'm gonna leave you guys. Good night. It was a great show. Vada, thank you for joining us. Aaron, thank you for joining us. Thank you, listeners. Do me a favor, share this video on all your social media and comment. Please comment and let me know what you think. But again, be respectful. And everybody has been here. This has been great. This is what I love. This kinds of discussions with people having disagreements and having intelligent discussion about them. We're going to do more of these. Sound good?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Make sure you leave a like on this video.
Yes. Leave a like.
Good night,
all.
guys.
Bye, guys. Bye.